So I like to update my audience on the tech stack that I'm actually using. Just a few weeks ago, I did a video where I was running through the various tools that I was using. And I made a joke at the time that there was no way that stack I was using then would last into next year. Well, it lasted like 3 weeks. In terms of visual effects, there are 2 platforms that I'm using almost daily now that have replaced several other platforms that I was using elsewhere. One is a free or very low-cost browser-based image manipulation program. So think Photoshop, but a light version of Photoshop that's through the browser called Pixlr. And it allows you to do some of the amazing promised features of Firefly, which is Adobe's tool, such as generative fill, removing backgrounds, upscaling, all of these really useful bits that I had to formally piece a couple of different subscriptions together to accomplish. On the Adobe side is Adobe Express. And Adobe Express is using the Firefly generative engine in a very similar way that Pixlr is, with one notable difference. I've often suggested that people experiment with DALL-E 3 or with Ideogram as far as getting typography into their generative AI image outputs, but it's a bit of a crapshoot because the images don't persist, and if it doesn't, the image might be great, but it might be misspelled or the words might be misaligned, so you tend to do several iterations of them. Well, Firefly and Express has solved this problem by locking in typography, like fonts, and then adding a generative layer on top of it, which is quite smart because there's an outline to each letter of a font, and they're just expanding the generative fill around that letter and then allowing you to do text to image manipulation right on top of that. It's really powerful because you can get exactly the effect that you want through your generative image and your generative typography, and then mash them up using the Express package. Express is free for a certain number of credits, but of course it has some freemium type lock-ins as far as some available features, notably upscaling. So Pixlr's out there for free, but for the low cost of $9.99 a month, you can get an Adobe Express subscription. So really neat stuff. I hope you find that useful.